Now I've got one of these, it's a Philips Candlelight charger, and the candles come on when you flip them over. But I have a feeling one of these pads is not working. And I think I know why it's not working, which I'll explain later in the video if it's actually not working. So I've labelled them up 1, 2 and 3, and I've labelled the candles A, B and C. So we'll switch it on. Now you can't see it, but there's a tiny LED in there. So we'll put A on 1, B in 2 and C in 3. And we'll leave them like that for 20 minutes and then we'll see if any's charged up. Well, it's been a while and all of the lights have came on, but this one only works when it's actually switched on at the wall. So it will come on, but if I switch it off, it'll get noticeably dimmer and it'll go off in a second. So I'm assuming the pad's okay, but it's the battery in here must have give out. So I thought this was damaged, but it must be the battery in here. So I thought they were all working, so I took all the stickers off. So we'll put these two working ones to one side. We'll get rid of this. So I'm wondering if I can get this out. 2.4 volts. I figure it's glued in at the bottom. So I'm just going to put some IPA in the bottom of there and let it run down, and hopefully it'll loosen the glue up and I can get it out and see if I can open it up and replace the battery. So I'll let that soak for a bit and we'll come back to it. Well, that's been sitting just a few minutes, but I'm impatient. There's a couple of notches there and I'm wondering if I can get my tweezers in like that and use it to twist. And I can. I'll pour that alcohol out. I think I might have done it. It's loose. Come on. Come on. There we go. I'm right, it's just a sticky pad on the bottom. Right. Oh, that's getting there. There's a seam around there. My plastic thing isn't small enough. .4 volts IP44 Philips Candlelight C13. Right. Right, I don't think that's meant to be opened. I have got a little gap. I think this is just going to break. I can see a tiny red wire. Oh, it's a coil. It'll be the charging coil. Right, what's inside of here? Look at that. Brilliant. Little battery. I'm assuming that part there is the switch. Like a little mercury switch. Do they have mercury switches these days? There's a battery there. So we might be able to replace that. As long as I don't damage that coil. I can glue that back down. Right, so I'm looking for an NiMH 160 milliamps 1305. That's it there. There's a little, I don't want to lift that out in case I snap that coil. What's the chip? Hold on. It's a WT0011. And I'm going to have a look online and see if I can buy them batteries. See, there's two LEDs. That must help give it a flicker. That's great. I've been trying to find a little battery pack like that I can just solder into these 2 points at the top. But I can't. I can only find what I think here is the single batteries. So these are 1.2, 80 milliamps. I'm guessing 1/3 AAA is just a third of the size of an AAA triple battery. So I can get 4 for £4.89. But the trouble is, they won't be tabbed. And I think they'll be tabbed inside. I'm going to cut this off. Just see if they're tabbed. Got to be, haven't they? I'm wondering if I can get away with just soldering them on. I don't think the NiMH are volatile like the new litho batteries. Yeah, they've been welded on with those little battery welder things. But I think they're about £50. I might have a look and see if I can get one. It doesn't seem worth buying a battery welder for fixing something like that. Unless I do just solder it on quickly. I wasn't going to record this, but I thought I may as well. I've taken off the old batteries and I've prized off the little, that might be nickel, I don't know, the little connector. So I've put some solder on here using a very big tip, and I've got the iron set at 350, and I'm going to try and put that across there. I'm trying to work out what's happening. Perhaps I can't solder that. I might have to use a piece of wire perhaps. No, it's not sticking. I'll cut a bit of this off. It's a little bit too long, so I'll just bend it a tad. Well, it's not very pretty, but it's on. So if they are 1.2 volts each, I should have 2.4 on the top. .3. Well, they are rechargeable, so they might need charging up. And the thing is, I've got to get it on there now, but that's got that nickel stuff on, so I'll have to take that off. That wire is just snapping off. I'm going to have to replace it, I think. I think I'll cover that up first. I've got some white tape here. And then we want the black one on here and the red one on there. So we'll tin it. Right, is that going to come on if I flip it? No. No, it's not. It might not have enough charge in it. Let's bring in the base. Got the plug for it here. I'll switch this on at the wall, which is there. Let's have a look. Hold on, am I switched? Right, I do have a light on in there. You can't even see it, it's that dark. Oh, I do have a light, look. So what I'd have to do is, I'd have to wait for those batteries to go off. I'd have to wait for those batteries to... Yeah, I'd have to wait for those batteries to die off. And then I'd have to put on the base and see if they're going to recharge. So I'll just leave that there. And trouble is, they last about 8 to 10 hours. So I'll have to come back to it. Right, well that's gone off now. It hasn't been on long, but it's definitely not coming on. So we're going to pop it on there. This is switched on. And we're just going to leave it. See, it doesn't have to be on very long to get a small charge. I'm going to leave it on there for a few hours and see if it gives them batteries a good charge. This is a working one, which is out of battery, We'll put that on as well, and then we can see if it charges them both up. So that's been sitting there for about an hour, and there is charging. So we'll compare them because they've both started with a flat battery. I'll switch this off, get rid of that. We'll see how long they stop on. Right, well, it's been about 40 minutes and this one's gone off. And this one, I don't know if it's just me, but it's starting to look a little bit more flickery. So that might be a sign it's about to go off. Right, well, that one is still going and it's been another 20 minutes. So I don't know what that tells us. I'm going to put this one back into the cradle and charge it overnight and see how long it lasts. Oh, this one's just gone off and not come back on. I guess I'll just have to put this one back together and try it for a longer period of time. Right, so this is the top for it. I'm wondering if I should put some white tape over the contacts here just to stop them from perhaps touching. Should be alright really, but I'll put some on. And then this piece has got, there's an extra lip there. I don't know where it's for. I don't know which way this goes on. I'm going to use some B7000. We'll leave that to dry. There you go. That'll hold that to dry. Right, so I've had these charging up all on the pad, charging pad at the same time. And I made a note. This one lasted 6 hours. This one, which is the one I replaced the batteries in, only lasted 5 hours, which was a bit disappointing. And this one actually lasted 10 hours. So what I did, I put this one, which is the one with the new batteries in, that only lasted 5 hours. I put that on a charging pad by itself overnight and then ran it again until the batteries ran out, and it lasted 7.5 hours. So that's quite a good result. I don't know why I had 5 hours the first time and 7.5 hours the next time, but I am quite happy with it. They're all dead at the moment. But they will come on if they're on the charging pad. I've lost the batteries. Now the batteries I put in are 80 milliamps each. And the way it's configured in series, I get me 2.4 volts, but it remains at 80 milliamps per battery. I thought it would jump up to 160 milliamps, but that's in parallel, I think. I've actually found the batteries. These are 1.2, 80 milliamps. So if you solder these in series, like this, you double the voltage on the battery, but the amp hours remain the same. If I solder in parallel, the voltage remains the same, but the amp hours doubles. But that's not the case here. What's confused us a little bit is the original batteries had 2.4 volts, but 160 milliamp hours. So either the original batteries were 160s and I've replaced them with 80s, or that is incorrect. I don't know which is which, but it just seems a bit odd. So you can solder NiMH batteries. I recommend using a large soldering iron tip and lots of heat. That way you can get the solder melted in a shortest period of time. So that's it for that video. Bit of a different one, but thanks for watching, and I hope to see you all in the next one.